A U.S. nuclear-armed submarine arrived in South Korea for the first time in more than 4 decades as senior officials from both sides huddled over a new nuclear deal. The show of force and the Nuclear Consultative Group meeting came hot on the heels of last week's testing by North Korea of an intercontinental ballistic missile that's capable of reaching the United States. CNA's Lim Suk has more.
As high-ranking officials from the United States and South Korea gathered in Yongsan at the presidential office on Tuesday to hash out details of a new nuclear cooperation, President Yoon Suk-yeol said the ultimate aim was to put a complete stop to Pyongyang's nuclear threat.
핵 기반의 새로운 패러다임으로 업그레이드된 한미 동맹을 통해 북한의 핵과 미사일 위협을 원천적으로 봉쇄하기 위한 실체적인 노력들을 전개해 나갈 것입니다.
Tuesday's meeting was the first fruit of an agreement between the U.S. and South Korea secured by President Yoon during his visit to Washington in April. As part of the deal, President Joe Biden promised to keep his South Korean ally in the loop of any kind of allied nuclear response in the event of a war with North Korea. The deal came amid growing calls to South Korea for the country to build its own nuclear weapons to protect itself from North Korea, something Washington opposes. According to the South Korean presidential office, both sides will work toward setting up mechanisms to facilitate information sharing and a consultation system to strengthen nuclear deterrence against North Korea. Meanwhile, for the first time in 4 decades, a U.S. nuclear submarine has docked in South Korean waters.
And we do believe it is important to manifest these commitments. As we speak, an American nuclear submarine is making port in Busan today. It's the first visit of an American nuclear submarine in decades.
한국이 별도의 핵무장을 고려할 필요가 없을 정도로 충분하고도 확실한 한미 확장 억제가 가능할 것이라는 확신이 오늘 들었습니다. 필요한 정보를 수시로 보안망으로 교환하고 또 협의할 수 있는 의제를 수시로 주고받을 수 있는 통신망을 구축하게 될 것입니다.
The SSBN is the latest of a series of U.S. strategic assets that have been recently deployed in South Korea, despite opposition from North Korea and China. Ahead of its arrival, Pyongyang even warned against what it called the worst crisis of nuclear conflict. Observers say it's possible North Korea will carry out more provocations in the coming days to show its displeasure over the deployment of the nuclear submarine in Korean waters. On July 27, South Korea and the United States will mark the 70th anniversary since the signing of the armistice that ended the 3-year conflict in 1953. But to many South Koreans, the threat of war has never really gone away, as the two Koreas have never agreed on a permanent peace treaty, which means they remain technically at war. Lim Suk, CNA, Seoul.